kind of going back in time, but we've already talked about kind of where you were at college, and that's when you started writing. Were you kind of very articulate before that, or what kind of person were you leading into that phase,
Leading into that phase, I was a person who tried to always be perfect at everything she did.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to be the best basketball player, the best volleyball player, the best student. I tried to put my head down and just work and go and move. And I didn't know what to do with my emotions. They did impact me sometimes, and not in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have sadness or depression or bouts of like, I don't know why I feel this way, or times when my body would just hurt. And I was young and athletic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was my body dealing with the grief of everything I had gone through, and I'd never dealt with it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really have a therapist who was trying to pull things out of me and help me reimagine a better way forward, a better way through what had happened. It was always just stuck in me, and I never talked about it.
Sure.
I didn't really tell people what had happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that going through it, I've kind of come to this feeling of healing, that my body feels different, my mind feels different, and
Sure.
I wonder how much of it is psychological. Like, if I tell myself I wrote a book and I got it all out, that means I'm healed or healing. I don't know, because I do feel better, and it might just be that I've, like last week I lost 3 pounds, like just because I'm like, well, that was the book. I got it all out, So it's just a weird experience to now have written it, and it's published. There's no more editing. There's no more, well, is this good? Do I need to cut this? Am I going to find a publisher? It's
done.
So next, what am I going to write next? Now I'm where
Shoulder
you are.
shrug.
Yeah. It's like, I'm just going to go and see.
I definitely want to hear kind of what your thoughts on what's going next. But one thing that I thought of, and I'm curious what your take is so you were super into sports. You were that person that wanted to be perfect at everything. In sports and kind of imperfect at everything, to me, sounds like you can really lean on statistics, which is sports is all about, right? It's points and assists, and it's super statistical. And then here you are, and you transition into this writing, which there's definitely good writing and bad writing, but it's not statistical at all. It's all interpretation, and you know what I mean? So here you want to be perfect, and it's all statistics, and then you kind of transfer into, and it totally works and helps you out. Isn't that kind of crazy?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's super cool. That's what I was thinking of.
Well, that's an interesting perspective. That's true. It's, maybe to let go of needing to have the highest GPA and the most points and rebounds in a game, or the most wins, to this thing that is so subjective that, can I feel safe? Can I feel like, even if there is no strict measurement of whether or not it's good or meets the mark, maybe that in itself is a type of, well, I've let go of so much to be able to do this thing, which is a big question mark. So it's interesting that you brought that up.
Yeah, that's curious take. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to check out the Standing Still podcast, both here on YouTube and wherever else you listen to podcasts.